So I think that's a great question. So I think just to frame the challenge of diversification of science, there's something called a pipeline that people say is leaking. So the leaky pipeline is the flow of talent all the way through the system. And people can drop out of the pipeline at various points. So for young girls, for example, middle school is when the pipeline starts to leak. For underrepresented minorities, it can be at different phases, and there's a cut at college and another at graduate school and faculty and leadership and entrepreneurship and all these other levels. So the first thing that we can do is publicly engage to make science accessible and to be visible role models and to encourage the excitement about science. So that's the first thing. Then next thing is to create curricula and inspired teachers to keep these people going through the system. The third thing is actually to really encourage institutional change, and this is something that has happened in the last sort of 10 to 15 years, where we watch out for things like unconscious bias, which is systemic in all of our institutions, and make sure that people get interviewed and evaluated fairly and encouraged and mentored all the way through the system. And then finally, I think the very last sort of pinnacle of it is the national academies, where we really actually still need to work incredibly hard to increase the recognition of the workforce in science. So the National Academy of Engineering right now is 7% women. So we have a long way to go. But there are actually a lot of best practices that are available all over the web. The NSF, for example, has a program called the Advance Program, where they actually created a whole bunch of best practices that you can just look up and institutionalize. And actually, there are many folks here on the panel who have done a lot of this work, and it's sort of like you have to keep fighting the good fight, but we're getting there.